Hello traders, this is David from Wave Trader. This is going to be an analysis for the new week we are getting in um, of April. That is the second week, and I'm going to be analyzing the dollar index and as well as one currency pair. Today's currency pair is going to be the UsdJpy, and I'm just going to show you a potential trade for this week, and I hope that you guys will be able to take advantage of it. So I'm on the monthly time frame for the dollar index, and the most current candle shows us that we're actually in an uptrend right now. So that's all there is to see on the monthly chart. Now let's quickly go to the weekly and see what we see. So you see, analyzing from the top down helps to eliminate a lot of confusion, because you come to the weekly or the daily chart and you see this massive jig here, and it actually throws you off and confuses you so that you become unsure of the direction. So let's have a quick look here. We can see that we actually have a wave bottom situation going on here, and you can see this green arrow signifying that we have a positive cross on the EMAs. We also have a golden cross here on the MACD, which was further buttressed by this bounce of the MACD trigger line against the MACD line. So this constitutes a golden cross for us as well, and a signal to go long. So, and you can see that the most current candle, I'll just make that bigger. The most current candle here is actually a green candle. So as we go into the new week, of course there will be fluctuations, and definitely there might be a little bit of a dip here before the upward trend resumes. But I believe that at least for this new week we're getting in, we have the US dollar to be bullish in outlook. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart and see. And you can see on the daily chart, what happened here was that we had an incidence of a wave bottom situation here. There was actually 5 waves that completed here, and this was a retracement of this upward move. And if we were to take the retracement values from this, okay, I'll just take it from this level at first, and you can see that we nearly got to the 62%. But if I were to take it from the number 3 point here, you will see that it actually respected the 62%. So either way, you can see that we have our bounce and the market is going up. So for the sake of argument, just for the sake of argument, even if the trend decides to reverse, because we actually have a dead cross here, even if the trend decides to reverse this week to go down, I believe that the market is still going to find its 65% retracement level of this move. Okay, so I believe that the trend is bullish for now, at least to this area here, which is still good for the new week's bullish trade. But even if it doesn't get to that point, then at least it has the power to get halfway of this move, and that's all we need for the week. Okay, so now remember that this is the DXY. You can't trade this, at least I can't trade this on the MT4 platform, but at least I use it to determine trades on the major pairs. So if we go to the 4-hour chart on the dollar index, you will see that we already have a wave bottom situation here. And even though it's not it's not as powerful as I would love it to be yet, but I believe that once traders see this, it's going to gain momentum. All right, so that's the dollar index. So I'm just going to quickly go through the US dollar and show you the potential trade I'm talking about. And you know that because the US dollar has the US dollar, the US dollar JPY has the US dollar as the major pair in front of it. So that means that it actually mirrors what the dollar index is doing. And you can see this is the daily chart. And if I were to quickly go to the daily chart of the dollar index, you will see that it's actually the US dollar JPY is actually mirroring what is going on here. You can see that, right? So I believe that we still have a little bit of an upward potential here. And like I said, even if this move doesn't get to this upper level here and decides to stop midway, which is 65% of this move, midway still gives us about 145 pips. So we are looking at a very good trade here either way. All right, so I'm just quickly going to go to the monthly chart, and you can see, if you look at the monthly chart, this whole region here, meaning that from 2016 till 2020, we seem to be locked in a sort of a consolidation. But if we want to look at it overall, you can tell that this is a symmetrical triangle, and an asymmetrical triangle in an uptrend actually tells you that you are in a bullish situation, because you can see that we had the wave bottom situation here, and then we had this beautiful third wave here. Okay, this could be called the third wave, fourth and fifth, and then this could also be called wave 1, wave 2. We can also call this 1, 2, 3, and then this whole thing here is the fourth wave. So no matter how you want to interpret it as Elliott wave, this is a symmetrical triangle. A symmetrical triangle in an uptrend usually is a continuation pattern. Okay, I don't really talk about different patterns in my course, but I believe that if you really want to know more, there are so many resources out there on the internet, especially babypips.com. You'll be able to learn more about these patterns. So right now, the most current candle is bullish. Okay, and you can see that the month just began, so we're going to concentrate on the most current candle here. Let's go to the weekly chart and see what we see. And on the weekly chart, you can see that the US dollar is mirroring what the US dollar JPY, is mirroring what the US dollar index is doing. So the most current candle right now is a bullish candle. Let's go to the daily chart and see what we see. So on the daily chart, like I told you, you can see that we just got down from this region of resistance here. So we are now in a region of a bounce, okay, or a rally up in price. So if it's going to get back up here, good. If it doesn't get back up here but gets halfway, still good for us in terms of a day trade or a position swing trade rather. So for the hourly chart, 4-hour chart, let's see what we see. So what do you see here? What I see here is that after we had a series of waves here, we can call this the first wave, second, third, fourth, and then fifth wave. And then we had the correction here. What I'm seeing here is, let's just mark it out. This is positive divergence. Okay. You can see I've been talking enough about divergence, so I believe a lot of you know what I'm talking about. So you can see that this is positive divergence. So that means that we have the potential for this market to go up. And I've always been saying this, that before you see a wave bottom or a wave top situation, usually there is an incidence of divergence that occurs, and I can show you quickly. You can see here there's an incidence of negative divergence to MACD here before the market pushed down. Okay, and also this place we now have an incidence of positive divergence. So I believe that the market has the potential to push up. It might not get as high as this trend line here, but it still has the power to go halfway, and this is how we are going to determine that. So we take the values of the retracement, I just mark it out like so. All right, so now for the sake of argument, even if the market gets to this level before reversing, you still have a potential of 133 pips to go. So I'm just quickly going to go to the 1-hour chart and let's see what we can see there. So on the 1-hour chart, you can see the positive divergence very well pronounced, and you also have an incidence of the Elliott waves complete here. You can see we have our first wave here, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave. Okay, so we are in an area of correction here, and at the same time you can see that it's respecting this level of resistance here. Okay, so look at the MACD. We have a dead cross on the MACD. So if I believe that the market is going to get as high as this point, how am I going to get into this trade? Because already our 5 waves have been completed here. So what we're waiting for now is a correction. Okay, so what I will do, or what I usually do, is I will take my retracement values here as well, like so, and mark it also. And this is the 62% again. So now if I wanted to get into this trade, what I would do is actually wait for this move to come down to this level. Okay, if the trend is powerful enough, it might not get as low as the 62%, so you are going to have to be aware of that. or the best way you can look at it is to go lower, possibly the 30-minute chart, like so. So on the 30-minute chart, we begin to see a lot more information. You can see that the market is actually respecting this area of resistance, and we also have what looks like, it's not a very powerful divergence situation, but you can see that it's beginning to tell you that this upward momentum is about to fizzle out. So the best thing to do in this instance is you can watch the trade here on the 30-minute, or you can watch it on the 1 hour, even on the 15-minute, and look for a wave bottom situation, or in this region between here and here. So it might not get as low as the 62% level of this upward move here, but at least you know that once you get a dip here, possibly in this region, okay, you get a dip around here, or you get a dip here, then you can take your long trade for the week. So going into the new week, this is actually a very good trade to consider. And like if you were to get in from, hopefully from this 62% level, you will see that you now have the potential to make about 219 pips. And even if you were to get in from here, you will see you have about 138 pips. So this is a very good trade for you to consider for the new week, the second week of April 2020. So I hope that today's analysis of the dollar index and this currency pair was beneficial for you. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and if you have any questions, please send me an email at Apex Alpha Wave Trader, I believe, at gmail.com. I have even forgotten my own email address. I think it's written on the channel. Feel free to post a question and I'll be happy to give you your answer. So have a good week, everyone, and happy trading.